Coming up next on Newswatch.
Trump causing trouble again. Why students are outraged over the latest graffiti wall edition. A solution for those living in poverty. How a 10-year plan can house the homeless.
And in sports, Ohio softball travels to Toledo to continue a win streak. Find out who they'll use in their journey. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens. This is Newswatch.
An update on the former Ohio University student who allegedly assaulted a Byrne Arena employee. Good evening, I'm Catherine Blaine. Thanks for joining us. James Howard pled not guilty on counts of burglary, aggravated burglary, tampering with records, and having weapons under disability. Last month, Howard was arrested after he allegedly assaulted a man while trying to buy ammunition. Howard successfully bought a gun in Athens, but was denied from a gun shop in Logan. Public defender Thomas Gherkin argued the items in Howard's car shows he was preparing to live in the woods, not go on a shooting rampage. Assistant prosecutor Rob Driscoll asked that bond be continued at $100,000. A pretrial hearing is scheduled for May 5th. OU students are outraged at the latest addition to a wall where students can write messages and advertisements. The wall featured new paint this morning with the words Trump and Build the Wall. The Hispanic Latina Student Union invited students and staff to talk about the graffiti wall earlier today. Then the group invited people to join them as they painted over the Trump message. One student got the graffiti wall before the group and says she was inspired to write an expletive over the message.
It infuriated me because I just think that it's really ridiculous that someone from our school would write something like this on a wall that's supposed to be for like good expression and like positivity, and it just like lit a fire inside of me that I couldn't put out unless I bought a can of spray paint.
The students wrote "Together we are stronger" in Spanish, hashtag build bridges, and quote, Superman didn't have papers on the repainted graffiti wall. And MacArthur could be getting its own grocery store. An unnamed grocery store chain is applying for state money to open up in Vinton County. There is still no official announcement, but the chain has been interested since last May. Last month, the Health Food Financing Initiative launched. This allocates $2 million to struggling communities. The Vinton County Commissioner says the grocery chain has applied to the initiative and is still waiting to hear back. Homelessness in Athens County is more than what the federal numbers suggest. A meeting has been held last night to discuss the problem. WOUB has the story on how locals plan to handle homelessness in Athens County. 3 years ago, locals drafted Coming Home. The 10-year plan focuses on increasing the amount of permanent affordable housing through grants and federal programs.
Be very pleased with this community that it was able to provide for the least among us, for those who are struggling the most. I think it is incumbent on communities to look after each other, to provide for each other.
Mary Costello is the co-president of the League of Women Voters. She says the answer is simple. More homes will solve the problem.
First and foremost, what is needed are homes. We need to house the homeless.
But homelessness often looks different than we would think.
How do we count people when we live in an area where they're not sleeping on park benches? You know, where are they? How do we find them? How do we count them? Because we are mandated to count them. So that alone is a big issue.
That's Kelly Cook, executive director at My Sister's Place. Cook says homelessness in rural areas is different than homelessness in a big city. People often double up and sleep on a friend or relative's couch. A survey for Housing and Urban Development showed that 16 adults and 6 children were unsheltered and homeless this January. But many in Athens County are not defined as homeless. They're insecure in their housing. Nearly 32% live beneath the poverty line.
We are working not only to get homeless people into permanent housing, but also to prevent more people from becoming homeless. So those are the two things we work on, is to reduce current homelessness and to prevent new homelessness.
Cook says the problem will probably never go away, but the strength of the community can help.
People don't really let their friends and relatives they don't let them be homeless, actually homeless. People have, stronger family ties here, I think, and will take someone in.
That 10-year plan will be up in 2023. For more on that story, visit our website at woub.org.
Good evening and welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Ananda Harris. We've seen a low pressure system tracking up the coast of New England, dumping snow and rain to much of the eastern United States. Luckily for us, we haven't seen much snow here in Athens. However, we are finishing off the day at 42 degrees after a very gloomy day with rain and showers lasting well into the evening. Right now across the region, temperatures are all in the 40s, 41 up in Columbus at our chilliest location, 45 over in Marietta, and a little bit warmer at 48 in Ironton. Still nothing making it quite into the 50s. As we go overnight, our lows will drop into the 30s, 31 the low in Athens, 30 up in Columbus, and 33 down in Ironton, just above that freezing point. With the low temperatures, all of the region is under a freeze watch until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Freeze watch means temperatures are cold enough to damage crops and plants, so make sure you bring those inside or get them covered. Over to you, Catherine.
Thanks, Ananda. We'll see you later on in our program. An Ohio University Survivor Advocacy Outreach Program is having a week of events to support survivors of sexual violence. Tonight, the events continued with a keynote address in March. WOUB's Carly Bell is outside Scripps Amphitheater, where the march is now started. Carly?
Thanks a lot, Catherine. Award-winning educator, writer, editor, and activist Dr. Stephanie Gilmore is still giving her keynote speech address right now, where she was discussing issues as Take Back the Night has discussed all year long, with just being an active bystander and also reporting any incident or any actions that you do see on campus. Now, participants, they will be going on a march to show support for survivors and promote awareness for this national problem. And statistics show that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will face sexual violence during their lifetime, and less than 50% of these victims will report these crimes. Now, to Take Back the Night, they will end on Monday with a debriefing session. Catherine?
Thanks, Carly. And if you Well, again, thank you, Carly. And a petition for an amendment to legalize medicinal marijuana in Ohio is moving forward. The Attorney General's office certified the petition today. This means it had to be both the necessary 1,000 signatures and a summary of the proposed amendment. Now, the Ohio Ballot Board must determine if the amendment contains a single issue or multiple issues. If there are multiple issues, the petitioners must then collect signatures for each issue from voters in 44 of Ohio's 88 counties. Ohio Governor John Kasich is back on the campaign trail after a short visit in Marietta for the annual State of the State. Kasich made the speech from Ohio's first city. Kasich talked about taxes, drugs, school, and jobs. A few of the specific programs he mentioned were the 3rd grade reading guarantee and Start Talking, a drug prevention program geared towards children. Kasich also talked about preparing kids for jobs after they graduate.
If you look right now at our job search website, Ohio Means Jobs, this is unbelievable. You'll find more than 170,000 job openings. I understand that about 20% of them pay over $80,000 a year. And these are Ohio businesses searching for well-trained, motivated workers. We need to prepare our students and job seekers of every age for these openings and the careers they represent.
Kasich is back in New York campaigning for the New York primary 1 day after the State of the State. And the Ohio Democrats are calling for an investigation of the Ohio Department of Transportation's hiring process for giving preferential treatment to Republicans. They filed the complaint yesterday, citing a March Facebook post by Republican Marietta Councilwoman Cindy Oxender. In the post, Oxender called on teens to apply for summer jobs, saying preference would be given to Republican youth. Oxender says she shared the post, quote, in haste without checking its complete content and is sorry and left a bad impression. The post has since been removed. Coming up, find out what Ohio City is banning travel to North Carolina. And Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are turning up the heat on their campaign. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back. Cleveland is banning employees from non-essential government to travel to North Carolina. This decision comes after the state signed a law that prohibits communities from protecting LGBT rights. The ban will be in effect until North Carolina repeals or amends the law. Cuyahoga County also says corporations from North Carolina who oppose the law should consider moving to Cleveland. Other cities and states have posted similar bans in response to the North Carolina law. And a bill similar to the North Carolina law is now being proposed in South Carolina. The measure would require that individuals only use public bathrooms designed for their biological sex. It's similar to the controversial North Carolina law that drove scores of companies to threaten to pull businesses out of the state. South Carolina State Senator Lee Bright brought his bill to the Senate floor yesterday.
Years ago, we kept talking about tolerance, tolerance, and tolerance. And now they want men who claim to be women to go in the bathroom with children. And you got corporations that say this is okay. Well, I want to stand with North Carolina. I think you should as well, with our neighbors to the north who are showing some common decency and some common sense. And I just want to say to these 100 companies, hey, the silent majority is watching.
South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley seemed to distance herself from the proposal, saying that a state law passed in 1999 already covers what the new bill seeks to accomplish. Bernie Sanders is claiming that Hillary Clinton is not qualified to be president because of her record and her vote on the Iraq War. Clinton's campaign firing back and questioning whether Sanders is even a Democrat. Brianna Killer reports.
I don't believe that she is qualified.
Bernie Sanders lashing out at Hillary Clinton.
I don't think that you are qualified if you get $15 million from Wall Street through your super PAC. I don't think you are qualified if you have voted for the disastrous war in Iraq.
The war of words between the two Democratic presidential candidates escalating, Sanders claiming.
She has been saying lately that she thinks that I am, quote unquote, not qualified to be president.
But Clinton's campaign denies she ever said he wasn't qualified.
The presidents who are successful know what they want to do and they know how to do it.
Clinton is pointing to an interview Sanders did with the New York Daily News where he struggled to identify how his administration would break up the big banks, elaborating in an interview with CNN's Chris Cuomo.
I was, I think, a little bit surprised that there didn't seem to be a lot of substance to what he was saying.
Clinton now taking this line of attack on the campaign trail, painting Sanders as unprepared to be president and even questioning whether he's a Democrat.
He himself has said that he never was. He never ran as a Democrat until he started running for president.
The latest Quinnipiac poll shows Hillary Clinton leading Bernie Sanders in New York by a margin of 54% to 42%. The primary will be held on Tuesday, April 19th. FBI Director James Comey is opening up about how investigators unlocked an iPhone belonging to one of the San Bernardino terror attackers. Comey spoke yesterday at an encryption conference at Kenyon University in Ohio. He said the government purchased a tool from a private party whose motivations he expressed confidence in. The tool, according to Comey, only works on a, quote, narrow slice of phones.
The FBI is very good at keeping secrets. And the people we bought this from, I know a fair amount about them, and I have a high degree of confidence that they are very good at protecting it, and their motivations align with ours.
Comey also said he is working on whether to help state and local agencies who have inaccessible iPhones. He said that if the FBI were to give such an instance, the information gathered from phones would be used as leads and not evidence. And on Wall Street today, U.S. stocks are ending broadly lower, led by declines in banks as interest rates move lower.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Ananda Harris. We are finishing out the day here at 42 degrees in Athens. Cloudy skies and lingering showers will continue overnight. Throughout the region, we're going to be we are currently in the 40s, 41 up in Columbus, 44 in Ripley, and 48 are warmest over in Ironton. Our almanac today shows us we were well below average at 50 degrees for our high here in Athens, today 13 degrees below the normal. Our low was right on point though, 41 degrees today, normal being about 40. The record high for today was 90 degrees set in 1983. I'm sure that sounds wonderful right now, but summer's right around the corner and I'm sure we'll get there eventually. If we take a look at our precipcast, we see that low pressure tracking up the New England coast, which has been dumping some rain and snow a little bit further north. It's also been responsible for those cloudy skies and lingering showers throughout the day. As we go overnight, though, we'll see that start to push out of the region, and tomorrow we will see a secondary low move in, unfortunately, with a cold front behind it. We shouldn't get a ton of rain tomorrow, but as we go through tomorrow night, we'll start to see those temperatures drop and bring us a chance for snow on Saturday. As we go overnight tonight, we will drop down to 38 degrees by midnight, still that chance for rain, and eventually we'll hit our low of 31 degrees tonight, pretty chilly. With that, we'll see that chance for rain, also maybe a few snow showers in there. Nothing should stick though. Across the region, lows for tonight all in the 30s, just a little bit above the freezing point at 33 degrees down in Ironton. Still though, because of that, all of the region is under a freeze warning until 10 a.m. tomorrow. And as we go into the morning, we will get up to 34 degrees for our bus stop forecast. Not too warm, so make sure you bundle up those kids. Going through the day, we'll hit 47 degrees by 4 p.m. Our high tomorrow, 49 degrees, still cloudy with a chance of rain all day. Across the region, pretty similar, that chance for rain lingering. 51 degrees down in Ironton for the high. Our only point that makes it out of the 40s, unfortunately, tomorrow. And for our 7-day, we'll see that cold front move in, giving us a chance for snow over the weekend. Our low on Saturday night will be 24, feeling like winter here in Athens. Sunday, it'll heat up just a little bit, 48 degrees, but we'll start to see a warm front move in, bringing temperatures up to 67 degrees on Monday with some showers. And it'll seem more like spring, thankfully, next week. Over to you.
I'm Marisa Oberly. Up next in sports, the MAC named an Ohio University golfer the Men's Golfer of the Week. Find out who notched the honors. And Cincinnati swept Philadelphia earlier this afternoon. See which player matched a career high in RBIs, next on Newswatch. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us. Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back, I'm Marisa Oberly. The Mid-American Conference named Ohio University golfer Peyton White Men's Golfer of the Week. The junior tied for first at the 2016 Hoosier Invitational. He finished at an even 142 and achieved his highest collegiate finish. White's performance helped the Cats take 4th overall, and in doing so, Ohio recorded its best finish as a team this season. White and the Bobcats return to action next weekend to compete in the Greenbrier Invitational. And as notable as the Greenbrier Invitational may be, nothing compares to the Masters. The biggest PGA event of the year kicked off earlier this afternoon. Reigning champion Jordan Spieth currently leads, ending the first round with a 66. Jason Day sits right behind Spieth. Tee time is set for round 2 is set for 8:20 a.m. And switching from the green to the diamond, the Cincinnati Reds swept the Philadelphia Phillies earlier today. Jay Bruce homered twice and matched a career-high 5 RBIs to notch the 10-6 victory. The Reds debuted top pitching prospect Robert Stevenson in 5 innings. In 5 innings, the right-handed pitcher allowed 6 hits and 4 runs, 3 earned, with 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Eugenio Suarez also hit his first career grand slam. Cincinnati improves to 3-0. They return to action tomorrow at home against Pittsburgh. Heading up north, the Cleveland Indians snagged their first win of the 2016 season against the Boston Red Sox. Carlos Santana bombed a 3-run shot to center, extending Cleveland's lead to 4-0 in the first. Boston battled back and tied the game, but Mike Napoli stepped up in the 7th to allow the Indians to sneak away with a 7-6 victory. The last game of the 3-game series, originally scheduled for 6/10, was postponed. A makeup date has yet to be announced. And Cleveland went 1-1 last night in wins. The Cavaliers fell to the Indiana Pacers 123-109. The Cavs struggled without LeBron James, who sat out. Kyrie Irving had a solid night, finishing 26-6 and with 6 assists. But he was unable to answer the Pacers' hot shooting. Indiana splashed home 16 threes in the win. Paul George and C.J. Miles combined for 50 points, and the Cavs' defense could not find an answer. Cleveland will look to bounce back on Saturday in Chicago. Now, that bad luck in Cleveland didn't affect the Columbus Blue Jackets. CBJ picked up a dominant 5-1 win up north against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brandon Dubinsky, Brandon Saad, and Matt Calvert all contributed goals. But the even more impressive performance came from goalie Sergei Bobrovsky. The win earned him his 97th career W as a Blue Jacket. He passed Steve Mason for the most in franchise history. Last night, he made 26 saves. And don't worry, there will be plenty of action tomorrow. Ohio softball kicks off a 3-game series at Toledo tomorrow morning. The Lady Cats will face off with the Lady Rockets at 11 a.m. and shortly after at 1 p.m. Ohio hopes to build on a 2-game win streak. The Ohio baseball team stays at home this weekend with a 3-game series against Buffalo. The first game was originally scheduled to be played at 6 p.m., but first pitch was moved to 1 p.m. due to impending weather. I'm Marisa Oberly, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Catherine.
Thanks, Marisa. A U.S. Marine Corps dog has been honored with a prize for animals serving bravely, in a military conflict. Luca, a 12-year-old German Shepherd, won the Dickon Award for sniffing out explosives and protecting troops during her service. Luca has never had a human casualty on one of her patrols. On her final patrol in Afghanistan, she discovered a 30-pound improvised explosive and was searching for a second when another device detonated. Luca lost her left leg but survived. The Dickon Medal is the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross. She's the first U.S. Marine Corps dog to receive the honor. Now let's take it over to Ananda for a final look at weather.
Thanks, Catherine. Right now we're finishing off the day at 42 degrees here in Athens, and there is a freeze watch in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll go overnight, dropping down to 35 degrees by 4 a.m. And as we go through the weekend, we'll be pretty chilly, but next week we will warm back up. Over to you, Catherine.
Well, thanks. That's it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Catherine Blaine. Stay tuned into PBS for the News Hour coming up. Remember, you can find the latest news anytime you need at WOUB.org. And as always, have a great night.
These students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back,